Look at projects on YouTube or in Pinterest and say, I wish I could do that. That looks complicated. Well, I'm here to tell you today that it's easier than you think. And really, anyone can make this beautiful home decor piece, art journal page, canvas with a few easy steps. So this napkin I got from NINNYSNAPKINS.com. It's called Poppy and Butterfly, and it is absolutely gorgeous. I'll put a link to Ninny's store in the comments section. Here is the finished project. It looks multi-layered, it's textured, and it's absolutely wonderful. Now I'm putting this on a 12 by 12 canvas board or mixed media board, but you could put it on a canvas. It would go well on a card, an 8 by 8, an art journal page. The substrate doesn't matter. The steps will remain pretty much the same, and they are easy as promised. So I'm opening up this napkin. Now I could just take it and decoupage it across the bottom, but it's kind of repetitive. We've got one side mirroring the other, and I like to take some liberties and alter the focal image. I can cut out the napkin and I can rearrange it in a different, unique way and make it fit, again, whatever color or size substrate. Now, here's a must-have color, unbleached titanium. It's this off-white. I love it for neutral backgrounds that are it's going to perfectly set off this, but I use this so much. And I'm mixing it with, with white gesso, and I'm just rubbing it on the background. Now, as you can see, I am not being careful, particular at all. In fact, the more swoops and changes in color, the better. You don't want your background to look flat and uninteresting. And this is an easy way to do it without doing it. Now that I have the base color to some degree, I'm going to add some texture. And my favorite way is just modeling paste through a stencil. Now, this is one of my favorite stencils. It's from the Crafter's Workshop. It's not about the exact stencil. It's about matching the stencil to the flower or to the pattern and the focal image. So I had those poppies on there. So this kind of has those round shapes. I love adding texture. It just adds so much. And I can, as the artist, really bring out the texture or minimize the texture, but it's still there. Something about feeling it with the texture is just, oh, good. And that's just mixed media wonderfulness. And I'm putting this in 3 areas. Now, when I first started putting modeling paste and doing stenciling, I thought it'd have to be perfect. And there are times if you were making a card that you want that perfection. But on a background, you don't need it to be perfect. Little bits, imperfection. We're building the background. So it's a lot very forgiving. So cut yourself some slack. Don't worry about it. Now, I could leave this white modeling paste on the background and it stands up, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually colorize the modeling paste. Once it's completely dry, I am just taking the white gesso and the unbleached titanium, same colors that I put as the first coat of color, on top. And depending if I want to bring it out, I might put more white where the texture paste is. That would make it stand out. Or if I didn't want it to be as visible, I would just have more mottled or a darker color. But here, I don't want it to overtake the focal image. I want the texture there, but I don't want it to be forefront. So I am just, again, working with the unbleached titanium and my white gesso, doing a little dance here, adding some, making it darker, lighter. I want variation in my background. That's what's going to make it interesting. And I'm just playing till I instinctually know. And you typically will know. And the more you do, the more you grow in your knowledge of what works. So some areas of the uh, modeling paste I want to bring out. I want to bring out that texture. In other places, I may want to minimize it. Just have it blend into the background. That's my choice. So once that is completely dry, I'm going to grab my archival ink, and I did some script stamping with black. Now I know I'm going to put a sentiment later that's going to have black, and I'm going to edge it in black, so I want a little bit of black in the background. Now here I am stamping with this foliage stamp, but I am stamping with kind of tone on tone. I'm using the full-on unbleached titanium. Now the background has that in it, but there was a lot of white. And so if you look closely, you can see that foliage thing, but it's very subtle, but it reads really well with my focal image. So now I am going to edit my focal image. I am not going to use that napkin, as lovely as it is, as it is. I'm going to cut out parts. I'm going to layer parts. I am just going to basically make my own composition that's going to fit the substrate and sizes that I've shown. So I might use less of this if I was just putting on a 5x7 card. I'm going to use bits and pieces of 2 of the images on this. I could put 1 on the corner and just put the sentiment on the side, or as I'm going to do, I'm going to put 2 on. Now, before you are editing and water cutting it off, the excess off that you don't want, you want to remove the 2 excess plies. That's really critical. And you're just going to run that thin liner brush with some water, and it gives you a deckled edge. It just makes the napkin kind of fall apart, and you can easily cut off the elements that you don't want. Now, what you cut off, you could use somewhere else, or you could put in a different place within the whatever you're doing. If I was doing this on a 9x12 or journal page, I may group them all together on one side. And so there might be 9 poppies on one side and then opening space on the other. So depending on the size of substrate that you're doing, you will vary these steps. Use different parts of the napkin. So here, while I'm not cutting off elements, I am getting rid of any of that excess napkin. The more I get cut off here, the less likely you're going to see it later. It will, if it's white, light background, it will kind of become very translucent. I just don't like the bulk there. I prefer the deckled edge. It's cleaner. It looks more professional. And for art, home decor pieces, it's really my preference. So there, now it doesn't look so matchy-matchy on the one side and on the other side. There's some variation there. And so here I'm just going to cut off some more of this. So I'm putting very little water on, and then I let it soak in a little bit and then pull off the excess, or edit, actually cut. Now, can you use scissors, you might ask? Yes, you can. You just get a very straight edge that's maybe a little bit more visible. So here I'm going, am I going to put all 4 of these poppies, or am I going to only put 3? So there's lots of decisions along the way. And since I love this poppy napkin so much, I will be doing a larger home decor piece with this. It's colors that match my main floor. So definitely a happy place. And I just love the watercolor images of this particular napkin. And as I said, I've put a link to Ninny's Napkins in the description box, and there's even a coupon code if you're really interested. So now I've decided I'm going to take off that 4th one, and I'm going to take off some. Now, when you're not sure how much of the napkin you want to edit out, do little bits. and keep auditioning it on the background, and then make another cut if you need to. I can put this one a little bit lower. That also gives it some variation. And I can move this poppy, I can move this over here. You can also take elements from another napkin and mix and match if they work. So now that I've decided what focal image I want, I'm going to adhere with fluid matte medium. I'm putting a generous amount on the surface, and then I'm putting some on top. You want to get lots on your brush. That makes it smooth and you're less likely to rip your napkin. And when you glue this down, adhere it down, in most cases with the napkins from Ninny's Napkins, the quality that they are, they brighten up. You actually end up with a brighter color. Although you can overpaint them, and many of my tutorials, I do just that. This one, I didn't do much. Like I said, this is a very easy process where you're going to get very good results. You don't have to do complicated or too much. Stick to the basics. So here I'm still figuring out, do I want to put this poppy down here? Ooh, I've got the poppy, seed poppy there too. Do I want to add that element, right? And there is no right or wrong. If I like it, I'm going to do it. And if I don't like it, I don't have to do it. But you play with the options. And so I've basically changed the art of the napkin. Lots of fluid matte medium underneath, and then lots on top. That seals it, prepares it. If you put anything on top, it'll also seal it if you're going to do overpainting, if you think you need to do overpainting. So I'm just putting that on, and then I'm going to add that other poppy as well. Any of the white of the napkin goes translucent and you don't see it. I kind of like it there. There we go. So now that the napkin is all dry, I'm using a sanding block and I'm just sanding off the excess. You could use scissors, you could, kind of rip it off if you wanted, but this works really, really well. But you want to make sure that that napkin is completely dry before you do this step. So now we want to add a sentiment, and I'm going to actually print that sentiment on tissue paper. This comes from my Moments in Memory sentiment pack, also available as a digital download on Ninny's Napkins. I print it out on just copy paper first, and then I print it out on tissue paper. I'll link the video teaching you how to do that, but I didn't add it to this video. I can move it around and I can decide where I want the sentiment to go. Now, the reason I'm going to put this on tissue paper is because the white part of the tissue paper goes translucent and you don't have the white of the copy paper, which looks like you've glued copy paper on. So when I'm doing home decor pieces or canvases, that kind of thing, I'm more likely to take the time to print out the sentiment on tissue paper. If it's an art journal page, I may just do it on copy paper and maybe colorize the copy paper. And I would just do a wash of maybe the titanium white on the copy paper. It kind of mutes the lettering a little bit, but you go gentle enough, it works. The nice part of printing the sentiments on tissue paper is that, if it doesn't work out, you can take it off, add a little water, rub it off, reprint, and reapply. So it is kind of a fail-free kind of thing. So now we're approaching the final touch-ups, and this is pretty much stuff that I do on a lot of art journal pages, including I edge my page, my board. Here I'm just putting a little bit of black shading around it, and this just really frames the picture, ties in with the black of the font of the sentiment and the black stamping that, remember, I put way back when with archival ink. Just kind of mutes everything. And then you're going to see me, I'm doing a little bit of shading on the poppies, just with the black, just adding a little bit of detail. I don't do a whole lot. In fact, I probably didn't need to do any. This napkin is so beautiful and just like easy to go. Some I would do a wash of color, but I love the colors that as this turned out. So I didn't want to adjust anything. But if you want to see how I overpaint and even change the color of the focal image, check out any of my napkin journal videos. I think there are over 200 of them, so you have lots to pick. It's kind of muted. And because I'm going to give this coats of Minwax polycrylic varnish, I want to make sure that I'm using everything that is permanent. So it's acrylic paint. Or I sometimes use Inktense blocks. They are permanent when they are dry. I don't want anything to smudge when I varnish it because this is a home decor piece. Here I'm just going to splatter with that red. I kind of mix that red orange color with a couple of my paints just to get something that looks similar, that reads close. Splattering kind of hides, again, makes it your own, blends everything together. And I believe I also splattered with gold because, well, you got to have bling. The pictures at the end, I'm going to show you some places where you can display this, including the one where I'm making it specifically for that area where it needs this long, narrow home decor piece. So when you create your own piece, you can cut the board to whatever size you want and be very exacting and very specific to match your decor. So yeah, here's the gold splatter. So there is this poppies and butterfly napkin, and there is the finished project. And I love how it turned out. And I will duplicate that on a bigger scale, on a bigger canvas, because I love it so much. Also cards, just everything. So this is a napkin. Two might not be enough because I could, make multiple makes or craft fair makes. Once you figure out what you do, you just kind of can go into mass production. So this napkin, total keeper. So here is a little mini easel. I believe I got these on Amazon, and it perfectly displays this piece and with smaller pieces. Here it is on top of a bread box that my father made that's in my kitchen. That's where I wanted to make it. But it can go in the living room as well, anywhere you want it to be. So I hope you will follow the steps, realizing that it really is easy and anyone can do it.